When I tell you YouTube hates me, it hates me. So I'm only going to give you a couple seconds of the theme. You know, I start off all my things now with my theme song. So I hope you guys have a few minutes. I hope you're having an extra awesome Thursday morning. I plan on clearing up a whole bunch of stuff today. You guys, I hope you're excited about today's rant because today's rant is going to go live. I am super excited about today's rant. And you know what? I'm so enthused. So many people out there now are just, you know what I'm saying, getting excited about the whole dinar thing. And I will tell you guys, I'm going to cut that off. I think we need to get right to it. It's a very, very important day. I just want you guys to realize and be thankful to those, Joe Williams, Bethany, those who provide the big cups, to all those haters out there that say these little stupid bullcorn, you're going to get talked about in drugs, so you might as well let it go. Got my little curls going on right now, y'all. I hope you guys are ready. Now, since this is an informal rant, it's a rant technically, not my chat. I just found it befitting that, you know what I mean, I thought I would talk about a few things. So, just going off the cuff, I posted an article. It was only legible on the CBI website on the Arabic side. Very, very interesting article. Talks about the Iraqi dinar exchange rate against the dollar in the markets and the decline of the price gap for the local currency. And in order to continue to provide new financial products that help all banks and motivate them to deal in order to achieve the goal of the monetary policy is to use quantitative instruments. That means a measurable instrument to control the supply of money on one hand and the projects for instrument of surplus funds in some banks. So a lot of you guys are going to go, what the heck are they saying? They're saying the mechanism of the transfer work will be borne by the accounts of transfer processes of the Central Bank of Iraq as the body that will adopt the processes. So they said the very first part is the Articles 3 and 4, paragraph Article 28 of the Central Bank Law. So to understand what that is, you got to understand what the Central Bank Law is. The Central Bank Law, primary regulatory objective of this law is to maintain confidence in the banking system. Other regulatory objectives include those of promoting public understanding of banking systems by providing appropriate information, maintaining appropriate degree of protection for depositors, and helping to reduce financial crime, including fraud, money laundering, terrorist financing, and so I thought that super interesting because that's today's topic is all about counterfeiting, not forgery. So if you guys looked at, like, you guys haven't seen like some of the stuff probably I posted on Twitter, I put on there this huge thing, right? Like I was like, dude, yesterday these guys totally said, you know what I mean, in their little rant thing that the Islamic State did not mint a set, that they minted did mint a set of 7 coins. So if you looked at it, I posted up the 2 forgery sides, right? I posted up the 2 counterfeit sides. And you guys are going to say, why is this important, Mr. Brando? You drug us out on a Thursday for this. Oh, my gosh. So they did mint. Now, you got to remember, in 2014-15, the Islamic State did mint them, but they didn't mint them themselves. Those minted coins were actually minted in the lower denominations, were minted by the United States, if you remember correctly. But they had some old machines there in the olden days. So you're like, well, okay, whatever. They had some stupid old machines and blah, 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 and blah, 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 whatever. Those coins were supposed to come out. 2 gold dinars, 3 silver. Now, there's names of them. The 3 silver dinars are called dirhams, and the coppers are called fulis. And the metallic purity was equivalent or superior to the values announced on the propaganda outlets in 2014. So there was outlets available in 2014 about coins and lower denominations coming out. So you're going to say, well, how did ISIS know? Well, ISIS did know because there was propaganda and it was leaked, I believe, from Zabari, who was the finance minister at that time. And by the way, Zabari was sacked for corruption. Think about this. How the heck did ISIS know that there was coins out there? They didn't. Somebody had to have told them. They did. There's propaganda stated that says that there was. So now all of a sudden you can sit back and say they know what those coins are and they know that there are coins, right? But how do they know which coins are which? Now, that's where it gets interesting. So I got to play you this. So I was on the phone with my friend Matak, and I was like, Matak, this makes zero sense, right, bro? I mean, come on, how the heck do they know what these coins are? So I'm going to play a little bit of the conversation for you. Let me see if I can catch it.
I think this is a fake of ISIS who was made it when they have been control on Mosul.
Mm-hmm.
This is not true, but as they said, this is ISIS money.
Okay. Okay, so what he says was, I think, now in the article I read to you guys, it says, ISIS counterfeited this money. We don't know where they made up, blah, 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 blah. And so you got to go and you got to say to yourself, well, how the heck did ISIS counterfeit money that A, didn't exist? There was no money for them to counterfeit at that time. There was money overseas that they couldn't touch, but they couldn't touch it, okay? So you say, well, dang, what the heck is it? And I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know what is it. So can you please explain it to me? I said, could you please tell me what these coins are? He says,
and it's speaking today.
Okay, he talks about Parliament there. So I say to him, hold on.
It's not here to read it, but only this one. It said, "There's no God, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala."
Says there's no God. There's only one last God, being Allah. So I was like, what the heck does that mean? Could you please tell me what does that mean? He says, yeah. If you look at it, he says that money, if you want to look at it from its most innocent kind of point of view, was a replica of something. So I'm like, what's it a replica of, bro? I don't understand. Tell me what's it a replica of, right? So he's like, bro, it's a replica of some money that was made during a caliphate, right? And I was like, caliphate? What caliphate was it made from? He goes, it's from the Umayyad Caliphate. The Umayyan Caliphate. The Umayyad Caliphate was one of the caliphates that was going on way back in the day, who spelt Umayyad, was the second of the four major caliphates established by the death of Muhammad. Okay? Now, during that caliphate, they had printed monies. Okay? We know that, and they had several coins. Some of those coins had different references. Okay? So if you go back to the article, which I told you guys a long time ago, was about the counterfeiting article, and I know it's hard to see. So it's hard to see because you can't see it, basically. I'm going back to it right now because this is my rant. The article that was printed during that time, right, states, okay, hold on here. Hold on. It says that although theoretically an ever-expanding caliphate does not recognize international borders or the traditional states, its leadership nonetheless strives to reproduce all the traditional signs of sovereignty. So what they're saying to you is, even though this caliphate was going on, they're still trying to establish themselves as a sovereign nation. They needed a new creation, a new currency, so they started minting coins, okay? Minting of dinars and dirhams was the final component in solidifying the physical reality of the group's Millennium Utopia, okay? So they made basically a couple different gold coins, a couple different silver coins, and some copper coins. Now, the name of those coins, okay, that I'm talking about are called the, hold on here, let me find you the names. Khalifa, including the Gascarope, Rome, and America. So on the first coin, I know it's kind of hard to see, right? That's one of the gold coins right there. Can you see it? That's one of the gold coins. Now, I know you can't see it. I'll show it to you in a second. ISIS printed gold coins, okay? That's called a Khalifa. Then if you go up, that's one of the silver coins. It's called a dirham. The dirham was one that's supposed to contain silver, and it's a spear and shield symbolize jihad, the cause of Allah. So you see that right there? That's what it should look like, okay? This is another coin. It's called, that's one of the fias. The dirhams. I'm sorry, dirhams. The last ones are copper. The copper coins look like this. these fills were 99.9% pure and then full of copper. So if you go look at the coins that were created during the caliphate, they look like this. I know it's hard to see, okay? I'm trying to get right here. You see that? Those are the ones that look like that. So now you're probably wondering yourself, Mr. Brando, you are nuts. There is no correlation between the last coin and the coins that you just showed us. And I'm like, I know. So if you're a master forger, okay, or somebody who's really into making something out of nothing, if you don't know what to forge, then you got to say, what do we know what to forge? That means that somebody in the finance committee at that time, okay, which was Zabiri, one of him or his people. Now, we know he was sacked because of corruption, okay? So I'm not saying he's not to blame for this. I'm saying he is to blame with this. But I'm saying that if he's the top of that totem pole, everybody that came down after him, okay, had to be in some type of finger in the cookie jar. It just makes sense. You see what I'm saying? So now look. Good coins. Okay? Bad coins. Okay? You're probably saying, Brandon, so what did they counterfeit? They counterfeited those coins because it's not what you do, it's what you know. They knew that coins were coming out way back then about the lower denominations. Now, that's not the mind-blowing part. That's not the mind-blowing part, okay? They not only knew, they knew what to put in them. So they knew that if you read that article, there was dyes only for a certain 2 coins. There was dyes that were metallic for the other 4 coins. So they knew what to dye, they knew how much to put dye in it to make it look gold or to make it look silver. So if they knew all that, there had to be a value to that coin, okay? And I kept saying to him, okay, bro, but what's the value?
I'm gonna talk, my brother. It was old money they were printing. They weren't printing newer money. They were printing older money. It wasn't ISIS money.
Look, to this money, it's belonged to Umayyad Khilafat. You are correct. It's not ISIS money. It's for Umayyad Khilafat. This is 1 dinar.
Did you hear what he just said? I'm going to play that again for you. Hold on.
Dinar, man.
Hold on.
You are correct. It's not ISIS money. It's for Umayyad Khilafat. This is 1 dinar.
He just...
Dinar, huh?
And I just reiterate the fact that that is 1 dinar. Now, think about it. How did they know to print 1 dinar in 2014 or 15 unless they had otherwise knowledge of it? Think about it. That is proof that there were lower denominations. There was a time frame, possibly for a revaluation. But since ISIS was so careless and so stupid, they printed the wrong money. But they didn't know what to print. So they went back in the archives and said, the central bank's probably too stupid to think of security and measures. They're going to reuse something. They didn't. They printed whole new money. So if you fast forward now to 2018 when all this comes around, how do they know that all this money was going to be in circulation? They didn't. They seized the machines, we find out in November 18th, and they seized all the coins that they were going to circulate because they knew if they circulate them, they couldn't pass them as being bad coins. Okay? It's like if I made all this fraud money, I can't use it because I made the wrong money. But the point of the matter is they made the wrong money because they knew that there was going to be lower denominations. Now, we could talk to anybody in Iraq that we want to, okay? And you can talk to anybody in Iraq that you have to, okay? But they will tell you that there were lower denoms back during those phases. They know lower denominations are coming. Now, they may not believe it, but if they don't believe it, how do they know to print a dollar dinar? Of all the dinars in the world in place, you could have put 100, you could have put a 10, you could have put a 1. I just showed you. That is a dollar. The gold coin's a dollar. Now, you're probably saying, what does that mean? Think about the article I read to you yesterday. If you get caught with fraud money in Iraq right now, basically, it is basically death. Okay, $50,000 or $50 million dinar, you know what I mean, stipend, and you're going to jail for a minimum of 10 years. Why would they put out such a stiff law or stiff parody for something that doesn't exist unless it's truly going to exist? Now, why would they put it out now? Because that article they sees all that stuff in November. What are they doing? They're warning the citizens when this new currency comes out, don't get it confused with some of this counterfeit stuff that's out there or could potentially be out there. That's why they went ahead and now printed the coins, kind of like you can see them. This is what's supposed to come out. This is what you got. Supposed to come out. This is what you got. What do I always tell you new dinar people when you buy new dinar? Check it against the CBI website. I know everybody's going to say, well, you could have told us about the certificate of authenticity. That doesn't mean crap. Yeah, it kind of does now, doesn't it? If you're buying stuff you don't know if it's real or not, now kind of makes you think, doesn't it? That's why you can tell us, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Think of the timing. Why would it happen now? Because they knew that they just confiscated those coins in those old machines. Why did they do it? Where did it come from? Syria, Turkey, northern Iran. That's where all that counterfeiting was going on. Now, how did they know? Somebody from the Minister of Finance, under Abadi's rule of prime minister, told the ISIS people, it was either Maliki, it was Aburi, it was somebody, that not only were there going to be coins coming out soon, like probably that year, but they knew the denomination of those coins so that they could pass them off in the marketplace. That just gives you everlasting proof of lower denomination. Do you feel me? That's everlasting proof. And that's why now, if you get caught with it, it's a huge fine and penalty, because those coins, I believe, this is my opinion, it's my rant, I'm giving my opinion, I believe those lower coins are coming out just not only soon, but way sooner than later, because there's no reason to warn anybody about anything that doesn't exist. Now, I dug a little deeper into everything. I could go more into it if you want to, but I not only just showed you proof of the coin, I got the coin translated. You know that it's he says it. He says it out his mouth. I can't stress this enough to you.
You are correct. It's not ISIS money. It's for oil collapse. This is 1 dinar.
It's 1 dinar, huh?
It's 1 dinar, huh? Mr. Brando's voice. 1 dinar. That's why I told you that article about counterfeiting was so intrinsic. Don't listen to always what they don't tell you. Listen to what they're telling you. That's why sitting on the government's a placeholder. What do you think was more important? Getting the information out about those lower notes, those lower coins, or seating the government? Those coins are already minted. You can put people in government. Think about it. We know that the coin's value now was $1. So if there's $1, there's got to be a 5, there's got to be a 10, there's got to be a 20 or a 25, a 50, and 100. They just told you everything. Yeah, that's it. We just cracked it. That's it. We know that lower denominations are coming. Now, can I tell you April? No. Can I tell you May? No. I can tell you they're coming a whole lot sooner than later. Think about this. Remember when they placed those articles about the lower 250, the 500? When those notes came out, they came out with articles about a week, maybe a few weeks, or maybe a month. So I read you that article a few days ago. So if you fast forward to my time frame, which I've always thought April 23rd looked really, really good, that gives them about a month before possibly you could see lower denominations, because that is their tell. They always do the same things. They release big news on Wednesdays and Thursdays. The rest of the week is filler, but this was huge. Oh my God. The only thing I can't prove is Zabari was an Iranian sympathizer. But we also know that at that time, Mahandi was in government too, I believe, and he was the oil minister. Now remember, I think Mahandi's kind of a POS. If you don't know what a POS is, look it up. But the reason why is he was part of that national oil thing with those guys, and he wanted to take and steal the money from the citizens. I believe, okay, I'm thinking this, that when they were having that big problem and they sacked him, remember they sacked him at that time, I believe at that time they came back and said, hey, man, we're going to get rid of all these bad people around you. We're going to put you over here. Just resign. Go off in the sunset. You're a good public servant. But later he becomes prime minister. Wow. So we know that the finance minister is going to have control over, this is another big thing. We know the finance minister is going to have control over, if they decide to do it, that 10% fund for the citizens. Now do you see why I keep harping on you don't need a seated government, but you need a seated government? They've already told you. The CBI's come out and told you. We know there's lower denom. We know there's a dollar. The finance company's telling you we know that we're going to give the citizens their Article 140, which is in the Constitution. I've said it a million trillion times. They're owed that. Article 30 tells you that. So if you're a company that are about to have they're about to have oil revenues. They know there's lower denominations. You can't have lower denominations. Those lower denominations have value. Can you see all this coming together? They tell you weeks, maybe a few weeks before a month. You can quote me. They said it maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month. There are going to be lower bills that come out at $250 and $500. They never put out this stuff about the forgery, or excuse me, the counterfeiting of bills. They weren't counterfeiting bills. Remember, if you're a counterfeiter, at first it's easy to counterfeit the big stuff. But these guys knew to counterfeit the little stuff. How did they know that? They were tipped off. They knew it. They were tipped off. Yeah, they were tipped off. They knew. They knew. They knew back in 15. A body could have done it. But when a body realized that there was all this counterfeiting on, he probably stopped it. Or probably a lock said, nah, now ain't the right time. Don't do it right now because we got to go get this money. A body went after that money like a dog after a meaty bone. Why was it so important that Mahandi get that money back? And they're his term, not a body. Excuse me, Mahandi, not a body. Excuse me, Mahandi, not a body. Why? He went after, and then he publicized it. Look, here are the old mints. We know that money wasn't minted here. It was minted overseas. So somebody had to tell them. Just like somebody told us, right? Think about it. Somebody told us there's lower denominations. We looked at the website. That's why I say when you look at the website, they printed that list of bills on the website. Then they come out and start telling you stuff about liquidity. What does liquidity, banking liquidity mean? It means that they have to come up with an instrument to alleviate inflation. The only way they can alleviate inflation without creating new money is to increase the money supply that they have, increase the value that they have. Bam. That's it. That's it. There's no other way. They've already told you they're not going to make more money. They're going to roll with what they got. So to counterbalance inflation, you got to raise that money up. Now, it would take Jan or one of the other smarter gurus out there or Kanga gurus out there than way smarter than me to understand it. But you got to think, if the value is worth more and they have that many bills out, it could sustain itself against inflation. The citizens are going to be under Article 30 and under Article 140, which not only tells them they are wealthy, but they deserve to be wealthy because they're living in an oil-rich place, just like Alaska. Their Article 140 is nothing different than what they do in Alaska. They share oil revenues with everybody that lives in Alaska because you live in a desolate place that nobody else wants to be in, so to speak, and they share that money with you to keep you there. Iraq did the same thing. It's called Article 140. Now, part of that, if I could look it up, there's a statute probably that says, maybe not in our Constitution, but in Alaska's Constitution, that if you live in Alaska, you're going to get paid. Same thing with Iraq. It's the same thing. Now, if you're going to get paid, and you know that there's all these bad guys out there, why didn't ISIS try to pass those coins off? A, because we know that they got the coins in that article from places that were metallic rich. So they stole all the stuff to make the coins. Then they put dyes in the coins. Think about it. These guys were smart. They knew 2 gold coins, 4 silver coins, 2 copper coins, or whatever the combination I just read you was. They knew it. They were tipped off. They knew back then there was lower denominations. This is huge. Huge. Now all you got to say is, we know if there's a law against it, when are you going to come out with it? It's probably going to come out sooner than later. And the reason for that is, why warn them against it if it's something that's not going to happen for a year? Or happen until 2020? Or happen until, summer? No, you're going to start educating the citizens right when you're about to do things. Beware of this. Beware of that. That's why they're talking about liquidity, paying them, getting your money, bank inclusions. Trust your bank. That's why all those laws are just ready. It's about trusting your bank. How to start a company. It's about becoming a corporation. Do you guys not see the writing on the wall? Foreign investment. When you come in, you can't have a name like another. They're telling you they're basically trying to start their own corporation laws for people from out of the country. And they're going to be trusted because they're going to have banking deposits that are secure. Oh my gosh. It's not if it's going to happen. It's when now. It's when. Mr. Brando's Twitter address is, I am at Mr. Brando YouTube. At Mr. Brando YouTube. Oh my God. Howdy. Man, now think about it. Gold coins in that region's not totally unheard of. Think about in Dubai where they have the gold ATMs. It doesn't mean that they're gold back. It just means they'll have a certain amount of gold alloy in it that will represent probably $1. They'll probably have $1 one and $100 one. A small coin, a big coin. That's just what I'm guessing. I'm just guessing that. I know, B-Tech. Me too. I didn't sleep last night when I told you guys that about counterfeiting. My mind went nuts. This isn't even the big stuff. Pepe tomorrow is going to give you the bigger stuff. But what I was thinking last night, you can ask me, BB, I was like, why the heck would they even bother to mention it? Like, that just seems so stupid. Why would you mention a counterfeiting ring and not mention it as forgery? Remember, whenever you're talking about currency, you never talk about currency as a forgery. You forge checks, you forge documents. If you're going to counterfeit something, it always does with currency. That's why I put in that text. Look at what they said. Pay attention to the text. It's not sometimes what they're not telling you, it's what they're telling you. I'm telling you, it's not a forgery. This is counterfeiting. Boom. And ISIS didn't know what to counterfeit. So they counterfeited what they knew. They counterfeited real money based upon a principle, based upon the principle of $1. 1 for 1. Texas, I don't know why you can't get excited about that, man. They just told you they're about to disperse with lower coins, lower notes. Yeah, I'm really jacked about April. I am jazzed about April. I mean, I am jazzed about April. Because if April comes and it goes and nothing happens, then they're basically going to have to tell us why they didn't do it. They're going to have to come up with some grandiose excuse. The government should be seated by the end of April. I mean, they should have all these companies poised and ready to go in the beginning of April to going into the middle of April. They've already passed all the laws about banking and trust. Everything is done. All they have to do is seat the government, formally accept Article 8, and move forward. That's it. That is it. Really, seat the government and say, hey, we're Article 8 compliant. We're ready. Let's go. Oh, my gosh. The revelation here is stifling. Think about it. How do they know to print $1? They could have printed a 5. They could have printed a 10. They could have printed a 20. They printed exactly what we know to be coming into fruition 4 years ago. I don't care about Brexit. I know a lot of you guys do. Brexit is of no interest of me. Gold-backed currency truly is no interest of me. The China deal, no interest of me. Zero. I am concentrating on what I can prove and not what I'm going to speculate to prove or try to prove based upon something I don't know that well. Now, I know it well. I could talk it. But I mean, why would I? I've got all the proof I need right from Iraq. I've got the SBA. I've got the MOU. We've laid it out like a glove, like a child could follow it. I've already told you this is going to happen. I don't have to look at Brexit. There's nowhere in the MOU or SBA that Brexit is anywhere in this. I'm not worried about Brexit. I'm not worried about what Trump does. I'm not worried about what Trump doesn't do. I'm not worried about Brexit. I'm not worried about any of that mess most people talk about. I'm worried about what I can prove. What I can prove, I will show you. And I can prove that to you because I just did. I can prove the MOU to you because I do every week. I can prove an SBA to you every week because I've got 3 analysts looking at it every day around the clock that are down for the team because they want you to succeed. Man. No, Atang, 1 dinar equals 20. No, you can't say that. That's based upon the E-dinar. We don't know that. Only what you can prove. The E-dinar is worth 1 gram of gold, not the dinar. Okay? No, Sylvie, the CBI was not going to RI because they didn't have in place all the banking and the other instruments to RI in 2014. That's a misconception. If they would have, it would have been out for a minimal amount. Minimal. There's no way they could have sustained it. And when he was jailed, it was probably the best thing that happened to the currency because now when it comes out, it will have a value to it based upon something real. Still waiting on the big dollar to drop. Al, don't wait for the dollar to drop because the dollar drops and you trade in. If it trade in, then it drops, you just lost percentages on your money. If it drops and you trade in, you're actually going to get more dollar for your money. But a dollar is only a dollar in America. Don't look for the dollar to drop. Look for the dollar to be strengthened because of our not only trade, but to be strengthened because of oil and to be strengthened because of our employment and be strengthened because of belief in the dollar system. I don't want to see the dollar drop. I don't want my money to be worth less when I get it than when I turn it in. I didn't work this hard for this. I didn't work hard for my dollar to drop. Yeah, I'm on point like a pencil. I'm straight like the road. I'm not in this for that, y'all. I'm not. Look, I do this for you guys. I've been up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. You can ask Miss BB. I'm not lying. I'm up at 4 or 5 a.m. Hey, what I'm doing, I'm getting on my laptop. I'm getting on my computer. I'm sitting there. I'm trying to make this work out for y'all. I want to be rich too, but I also want to show you guys when I hear all these people saying all this negative stuff about it's not going to happen. Well, show me how this isn't going to happen. They can't show you that. Their whole argument's based upon stuff that's happened. If I was to do that, well, it ain't going to happen. Well, yeah, I'm batting 1,000. I'm real smart. But none of them put this stuff together for you to say, this is why it's going to happen. This is a fact. This isn't a lie. I just showed you. None of these other people out there are talking about it. None of, and I'm not saying I'm smart. I'm just saying that as us, as a collective, and shout out to Kurt. Kurt from Facebook. Kurt was the one who said, could you get that transcribed? And I thought, well, I guess I could. And then when I started digging down that rabbit hole, started to find out, hey, they didn't mint old coins. Those coins come from something. I know where those old coins came from. Hey, guess what? Those coins had a value. Guess what? One coin's worth this, one coin's worth that. The coins that they counterfeited were the ones that were worth $1. Wow. Why $1? Because it's much easier to pass a small piece of coin over a large period of time than his big bills. That's why. So the dollar is the dollar. A dinar is a dinar. We've said that. That's why you can sit there and we can say there's an in-country rate, and then there's a rate, there's a street rate and an actual rate. Same thing with a dollar. A dollar in America is a dollar. A dollar is really worth about 85 cents, 95 cents, whatever it's trading at. Okay? I'd say I have two rates. But there are no back screens and front screens. That's bullshit. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm trying not to curse. Sorry, my mom's listening. But they always stall it. Do they? Or they actually get their ducks in a row? Just because it didn't happen on your time didn't mean that it ain't going to happen. This country's only been practicing democracy for 15 years. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to have stumbling blocks. It ain't America. It ain't Canada. It ain't England where they've been practicing democracy for over 200 years. So they don't stall anything. Maybe they're trying to get it right. Think about that. Stop thinking about the negative. If all you do is this investment, look at why they don't do it, then why ever do you look for why they do it? You conceptually have no idea about how to figure out the puzzle. Think about why they are doing it and why they're doing it now. Because the puzzle pieces are important now. Because the SBA says they're going to do it now. The MOU said it now. Did you know that before now? Could one person sit up here and tell me they read the SBA and they grasped it to the point where we showed you what it was going to do? Could you tell me that? Or could another person tell me they knew about the MOU, which I didn't even know about, and grasp it to tell you that? No, they couldn't. No, they don't. But they'll tell you about aliens and this and that about God. And this, I believe in God like anybody else. I don't play with God. That's why I don't put God in this. God has nothing to do with this. This is based upon man and free choice and free will. Okay? Get that through your heads now. That's going to lose them. But understand, money and God don't mix. Okay? Yeah, hit the like button or hit the dislike. Them 8 or 9, 10 haters that always hit the dislike it, hit it. Because you know what that tells me? At least you guys tuned in again. For somebody that you love to hate, you keep watching, keep hitting the dislike. If you put some funny comments in my comment section, I'm going to check you. I'm going to check you. I'm going to actually call in, or don't be a coward and call me and let me see what you're talking about. That's why these other guys now are calling me. Hey, do you mind coming on my show? You mind coming on my show and telling us what you know? Well, why would I come on your show and tell you what you know when I got a whole crew of people that I can tell them what I know every Monday through Friday, and they appreciate it, and they tune in, and they're loyal, they're respectful, they're my people. I stand for my people. I'm not out this for fame. I'm out this for you. I could know all this by myself, and what good would it do me? Me, Mr. Frazier, Johnny, Sylvie, Samuel, BB, XRP, Daza, Georgie. We could all sit in our little group on Facebook like a lot of people do, huddle this information, and never share it with you. We don't do that. I don't kick you out of my group. I kick you out for being disrespectful. I kick you out for saying something slick. But anything else, you can stay. You can say I'm wrong. Just call in and tell me why I'm wrong, or show me where I'm wrong in my text. And people do it all the time, and I don't call them out. I take it humbly because maybe I mixed up a name or mixed up something. I don't care. But the premises is correct, and that's what makes it better than 99% of these people that do this. The premises isn't correct. They haven't gotten the little stuff right. They can't even read the articles and tell you what the articles say correctly. They'll tell you their spin on it or what they want it to be, but they won't tell you truthfully what it really means. I'm not taking calls on my rant. Neil, like August or September? No, more like April and May. All these companies are lining up right now. They have never talked to this guy from Lose Will or wherever this guy just came from. All these countries are lining up right now. They're not lining up for later. There is no later. And by the time the summer hits, it's too late for Iraq. That's when the heat starts. There's no time. They need Germany and America to come in with these air conditioning companies to help them build their electrical grid now. They need help now. Yeah, I'm going to walk it. I'm going to walk it like I talk it. Hot sauce. Darn right, hot sauce. Flaming hot ghost pepper hot sauce. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Knowing that there's lower denominations, knowing what those lower denominations, but people were trying to steal years ago that they just found out about. Knowing that, I would never have to do another Iraqi video again. I can sit back now and just count time. I'm going to do videos now because I know what's going to happen. I just want to be right about the dates. I want to get this down to the point where I get the dates correct based upon information. And not information from my CBI informant or my inside guy, boots on the ground company that I've owned with my guys with contract. No, I'm going to be right because I can read. Reading is fundamental. And I'm hooked on phonics. Dennis told me earlier, he goes, my God, how do you do this? I do it because I love doing it. I love problem solving. This is a problem. It's bugged me for years. Now we're going to solve it. I'm just going to solve it with 3,000 of my best friends. Everybody that's down with me, I'm going to show them. Oh, I would drop the mic, but it's big and it's over there. Great, huh? Yeah, it's great. Gold is 1328. Crack the code. That's the, when you hear about the system isn't something you want broken. If it's broken and we go to cash in, how are you going to get your money out of it? Think about it. Think beyond what it sounds like. It sounds cool. Break the system. But if the system's broken when we get to it and we're trying to cash out, our money's, again, worthless. Then we're back where we were. Why would I want to break it? I just want to break the codes that these guys are using to tell us how they're going to reinstate the Iraqi dinar and why they're doing it and when they're going to do it. Because they're going to tell you when they're going to do it. They may not tell you a date straight up, but they're going to tell you they're going to do it. Yeah, how are y'all doing? I hope you guys are doing good. I hope all this screaming didn't make anybody mad. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jamie, non-believers are a necessary part of the whole solution, but they have no place and they have no forbearance in my life. You don't believe? Get the away from me. You believe? You want to be taught something? Stay with me. We're going to walk this journey together, side by side, hand in hand, inch by inch. We're going to stumble. We're going to fall. We're going to make mistakes. We're not going to understand, but you know what we're always going to do? We're going to talk about it. We can disagree as long as we're civil. But if you don't believe, get the heck away from me. I don't want you in or around me. I don't want you nowhere near me. Stay away from me. Yeah, I'm praised. all things I give to God because God gave me this knowledge and God gave me this ability to read and God gave me this yearning to understand geopolitics. I asked Miss Bibi to come home, Alonzo. I was like, come home, baby. Just come home. Okay, so 1,548,000. That's good. That's at those current numbers. That's going to change. Deuteronomy 30 times 4. God, your God will restore everything you lost. He'll have compassion on you. He'll have come back and pick up the pieces from all places where you were scattered. That is truth. Amen. Hum to God. God is good. You right about that, Lonzo. If you say, hey, Mr. Brando, who's Mr. Brando? Mr. Brando said, I'm going to be here long. Mr. Brando says, 2019 is my year, and your year. Our year. Woo! Our year. Oh, I'm jazzed up for this, y'all. I don't know how you can't be so excited. Man, this is awesome. Oh, I wasn't going to answer no calls. I'm going to answer one. I did. I'm taking a call. I wasn't going to. Hung up. And you guys got, it's not what you do with those monies. I don't care if you only have $100,000 an hour. There's no reason that if you don't follow us and let us show you what we're going to do, how you can't take that $100,000 dinar and make it into 5 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 10 million. There are some super smart people that we're coming in contact with every day. And those super smart people can teach us something to enable you to make more money, to invest in your community. I know I talk about investing in our community. No new taxes, more taxpayers. That's what you should be chanting. And as a group, a buying group, think about it. As a collective, we are strong. Individually, we're weak. Because that's where they get us. That's where they poke at us. That's where they say in these little chat groups, well, it's never going to happen. Most of the people don't even know what an SBA is or an MOU is, nor have read it, really read it, nor understand it. You have. You put in the work. You did the effort. You sat there. You put up your time. You put your family to the side. You did all these things for the greater good for you and your family. If you ain't in this for family, then what are you in it for? I'm in this so my child ain't got to worry about nothing. I'm in this so my wife ain't got to go to a job she don't like. I'm in this so I can be financially free and alleviated of the bonds of financial slavery. Hate being a slave to a job. But I don't mind being a slave to my mind because my mind is going to set me free. It's going to set everybody I know free because if you believe with me, I believe with you. And if you stick with me, I stick with you. If I see somebody picking on you, I'm coming to your aid. If you see somebody picking on me, you come to my aid. That's what we do for each other. And that's what I love to see. When you see these subgroups, I'm not going to follow or recommend you. Care less. Your mama, care less. Get away from me. Watch me. Watch what I do. Don't comment. Whoop, you're muted. I don't need you around me. The heck away from me. Yeah, I can't blame you for buying Venezuela, all that. I just got to crack the code on this. Me and Pepe have talked about cracking the code on a couple different ones. If you do that, I'm going to the next currency. I'm not ever getting off YouTube. Once I do this, I'm buying the island. I'm going to show you all that. Once I do this, later on this year, I'm doing the stocks. Once I do this, I believe in me. I believe in me. Ain't nobody else got to give me nothing. I believe in me. I believe in me. I believe in what I can do. I believe in what I read and what I see I can teach somebody else. You ain't got to be smart to do this. All you got to do is take a little money, give it to somebody, they give you something else, it revalues, and it gets through. It ain't nothing to it. That's why I don't charge y'all for this. It's free. Free. And when people say, oh, there's too many commercials. Well, dang it. I mean, I got to pay the light bill somehow. Begrudge me that. Dear Savior, because I'm not on somebody else's time, I apologize. Hey, go commercials. Sorry. But it helps Mr. Brando. But I'm not asking nothing from you as individuals, nor would I ever. I want you guys to be free. Free from financial slavery in 2019. Free. No, Israel, POS is point of sale, but it also means piece of, and you can fill in the blank. I pray for God's deliverance. And I pray for God's, basically just his humble, just acknowledgement, even that he thinks of me. Pim, you can say that. I hear you, bro, but it doesn't matter in what I'm talking about here. Doesn't matter to me. You guys can say that, but that bank don't have nothing to do with the bank I'm talking about, which is CBI. I'm sorry, it just doesn't to me. And I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, show me. I'm not opposed to saying I'm not right. Hey, there goes wifey. Oh, my hair looks good. Got my curls. I'm going to get it did tomorrow. Sorry. And I love you, Pimpy. I love you. Let's play what you feeling about the rate might be. Amy, start us off. What y'all feeling the rate might be? Oh, hang on. There's my wife. Hey, babes.
Hey, I am April BB.
Damn straight you are.
I had to call and bug you. I've been in the chat for a while. I can't come home.
I know you can't. But did you see that stuff about the counterfeit money? They knew what to put it at. It was $1.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the coins too.
You did, didn't you? Smart,
Are
huh?
you still live?
Yeah, I'm live.
Okay, yeah, because I mean it stops. I was watching it on my phone, but where's Daisy?
Oh, sleep. She's hiding under the bed. She's asleep.
You gotta feed her. Okay, I love you. I just had to call and harass you.
All right, love you too, baby.
Bye.
Bye. Booyah. Yeah, I think the Don will go. I think Venezuela will go. I think there's a lot of countries that could go now. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of countries that could go. And I'm going to go for the full hour, I guess. I'm looking for some questions. I have other international currency. I don't have any extra money to get a dinar. Am I out of the exchange loop? I mean, kind of, if you don't have dinar and they're going to exchange dinar, I mean, if you could take $50, $25 and buy a little dinar, I mean, I don't know what your situation is and never buy more than you can. Buyer beware always. But I mean, if you want dinar, and that's what we're talking about, then that's kind of what you got to use to exchange. Yeah, I'm a bad boy. I know every time you curse, I'm sorry, Scott. I am so sorry. I have really worked hard at not cussing, y'all. I'm sorry. Baby even told me the other day I was doing good. I'm trying not to cuss. Slow down, Guru. LOL. Okay. Remember, they knew what the coins were. They based it upon a caliphate because they were in a caliphate. But they had to have had some type of insider knowledge to what those coins were worth. The coins that were trying to pass off were basically $1. Okay? So how do they know to pass off $1? Inside information. They stole the machines from the old coins of yesteryear. They didn't know that there were new coins sitting over the United States Mint. Get it? This is huge. Think about that. How do you know it's $1? Somebody tells you. How do you know what to print? They didn't, so they guessed. They picked a caliphate because it was Islamic law, or it was Islam that told them to, or whatever, but they knew to value it at $1. That's not divinity. That's man-made. I'm telling you right now. And God has everything to do with us, but God has zero to do with money. God, no, Octavia, that's not what I'm saying. God is divinity. God is paradise. God is peace. God ain't got nothing to do with money. God is where Christ is where you go when you're seeking salvation. Money ain't gonna save you. Money ain't gonna save nobody. No, Michelle, you guys are misunderstanding. God did not lead you to buy money if money's the root of all evil. Okay? God may have told you that, hey, look, there's an investment or something, follow it, but God has nothing to do with money. That's man-made. God didn't invent money. God invented people that made money. That's man-made. It's totally different. Oh, Sylvie, God, it's a disgrace to talk about God. Shh, you're tripping. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to believe in God's going to somehow tell me to tell you guys that to buy my Intel for $9.99 a minute. That's a disgrace. Sorry, that's a disgrace. Man ain't got nothing to do with about God. Sorry. I know, Divine, where I remember why they did the audit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. God is the light. I absolutely believe that. Yeah, the aliens talked to me, lost me. I'm some guru getting crazy. Yeah. Oh, hang on here. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to figure this out. I believe April. That's it. The power grid's what you got to see. The power grid's what you got to see. We got to see Siemens come in or GE or somebody. That's what we got to do. I should ask the aliens. Brandon, what's up, Brandon? Reading's fundamental. No, you're not. Someone here will read it for you. That's right. Salvation and God don't mix. They don't. Hey, babes. Can we invest in the Dinar? That was a question I wanted to ask Jan. I believe in this. I grew up doing a few things. I got up making my bed. I got up honoring God first, honor country. Okay. I did that. Honor family next. Okay. I did that. I believe in being truthful and honest with people. And when people try to make this some type of religious escapade for no reason, I'm sorry, I'm not with that. It's a logic-based fundamental thing that if it was based in some type of religious aspect, this would all be written out of Testament, out of the Bible. It's not. It's written out of legislation that's made by man. God don't have nothing to do with money. Now, God may have led us all together, and thank you, God, for leading me to you and me helping so many. But I won't let this become about God. I'm going to praise God when it's all over, as I should. I'm going to be thankful. I'm going to tithe. I'm going to do all those things that are right. But I'm not going to blame God. And I'm darn sure not going to question God when it's bad. Don't do that. My theme song. Can our U.S. Treasury delay the process, Adam? According to Pim, yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. The U.S. Treasury could delay it. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Henry. I know baby can't come home. Yeah, some of these guys are off the chain right now. Yeah, Pempe's definitely back on tomorrow. I'm just giving you guys a taste of what's really going to happen. Pempe is going to give you the business tomorrow. If you don't stay in for tomorrow's chat, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let Pempe talk. Pempe's got something that's going to knock. He knocked my socks off last night. He tried to call. Now, that's God for you. He tried to call. I didn't answer the phone. Then he called me afterwards. We stayed on the phone after the call for like an hour, just chopping it up. Him throwing things to me. He want to talk to him. He want to do this. Talk to this person. Talk to yeah, Mr. B. We were going off the chain last night, but I couldn't put on the call. I was like, Pimp, why didn't you call? He's like, I called 4 times. You wouldn't answer. So I was talking to Jan. That's God. Hey, all I want to do is tell you facts. I don't want to tell you no lies. If I tell you something that I find out is not true, like Victor wouldn't call back, Henry wouldn't call back, that ain't Seamus's fault, or that ain't anybody else's fault who turned me on to these good guys. Those are decent people. The source didn't pan out. That's not on us. That's somebody else. I didn't say this is what I know to be true. This is why I know what I heard. And I'm going to put them on I'm going to make them be accountable to you guys. Nothing more, nothing less. You're right about that, RC. I don't need you excited for me because I'm super excited all by my darn self. And I don't need to make this fictitious or build it up to be something that it ain't. I know what it is. That's called divine understanding. That's called being part of the 33 and a third. That's divine knowledge. Not that I'm a Mason. I just think intrinsically about what I'm doing. And before I speak about it, I definitely know what I'm talking about. And I don't have to base it on something that I don't understand or don't know. I got to base it upon the facts. The facts I can show you. Making up stuff, I can't. I can't remember those things. Yeah, the American school system, bless their heart, and God bless all the teachers out there that have let everybody down. Hey, Dottie Dot, what's going on, Dottie? Amen. And don't forget, if you don't believe in God, get away from me. If you don't have a moral compass in this world, get away from me. But if you're one of them people that put God and try to beat it into somebody else's religion, that sounds a whole lot like those Islamic people that everybody dislikes so much when they try to beat Islam into the people that don't believe in it in their country. So don't beat your religion into me, and I won't beat my religion into you. Let's just keep it caveat on that, okay? Real talk. Sorry. Yeah, I'm talking that talk today. It's my rant. I'm going off. I got about 4 more minutes to rant. But don't Bible thump me, and I won't Quran thump you, or I won't Buddha thump you. And I believe that there is a supreme being for all of us. If you don't have a moral compass, get away from me. But if you're going to sit here and tell me that, well, God controls the RV. No, God doesn't control the RV because man controls the RV. And if man controls the RV, you know it's going to be jacked up and you know there's going to be stumbling blocks. Now, God may inspire that person to let go of whatever troubles or whatever are happening. And I wish that he would so many could be blessed. But I'm not going to blame God if it doesn't go. Because a lot of you guys, they want to say yes if God says yes, it's good. But they don't blame God when it's bad. You can't have it both ways. That's called the yin and the yang of the world. The light and the dark. You got to understand, God is good. The devil is bad, but God is good, okay? And the devil's a lie. Let my people go from financial slavery and let my people go from the nonsense that clouds their minds about what is really going on earth. I can't speak what's in heaven. I can't speak what's in hell. I'm not there yet. But I can tell you what's going on right here because I read it every day. Bo says, I hear that, Bo. I'm going to let these guys read that. No more financial bondage. No more slavery. Where is Daisy? Daisy sleep, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm talking my talk. This is my rant. I'm sorry. And I'm not going to sit here and be a part of a bunch of nonsense. If you talk nonsense, I'm going to talk it right back to you. And if your whole argument is based upon nothingness, then stay off my line, please. What did Woke say? My theme song, please. I'm going to play it on my way out. How many minutes? I got 2 minutes, y'all. You guys, I am a man. Man makes mistakes. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a son to somebody. I'm a servant of God. I believe in God. I don't believe in nonsense. I'm not going to put nonsense in your life, okay? I want all of you guys to have everything you ever dreamed of because you invested in something wisely. And now that we know what we know, you can say it's more than nonsense. For these other people that come in and out of your life that really don't understand what they're doing, they just speak upon stuff that they heard from somebody else because they don't know what they're talking about. They really don't. Because their argument's based upon nothing. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. You want my music now? I'm going to bring it right now. You guys, God bless every single one of you. God bless everything you do. We're done for the day. Hi. And don't tell them I told you because tell them I told you. I meant everything. I apologize for nothing. You guys have a blessed day. Have a blessed work day. Be productive. Shalom. Blessings. Blessings. Peace, peace, peace. 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 Be safe at work. Love your neighbor. Love your friends. Don't bear false idol. Don't covet thy neighbor. Don't do those things that people say you shouldn't do, but really don't do. Don't do them. Be a good person. Be a good person. Love your neighbor. Love each other. Be kind to each other. Invest in family. Love your family. And with that, I bid you peace.